It's been over 2 years, and been over 2 years. So I'm kind of adjusting the headset there, but it's been over 2 years basically since I last went to Disneyland, which was my first time and so far my only time. And you know, like any first-time person, of course I got a badge and all that, saying it's my first time ever, and that. Looking back on it, I still remember it like yesterday. I still remember just, getting my stuff together. I mean, yeah, the pictures help out, but I still remember, getting everything together, getting ready to go, getting picked up, and just going from there to Disneyland and enjoying it. Even when it rained a little bit, I still enjoyed it. The one thing with me when it came to Disneyland is, yeah, I went on a lot of the rides, not every ride. I didn't do Splash Mountain or anything, but I did a few rides here and there, and I did basically some of the most notable rides. I saw the Sensational Parade not once but twice, I think. And well, actually, yeah, I did see it. It's just that I had to, move this in there. I had to go. I think I saw it more than once, but we saw the full parade one time, and it's all nice and all that. But the one thing that really stuck out to me, and you could check this out on YouTube, because just about anybody that's been to Disneyland, if not Disney World, I mean, well, I don't know if Disney World has it either, but anybody that's been to Disneyland knows about the Wonderful World of Color attraction that occurs at night around, depending on the time frame, I'd say 8, 9 o'clock at night. And it's just a real spectacular event. And no matter how much it gets changed around, no matter how much new footage gets added in and old footage gets taken out, it's still just a spectacular event. It really is. And when I first saw it, and you could check it out here on my YouTube channel, BW Roses, I was amazed. I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that in my life before. I mean, just the way it was, done, just the way it was coordinated and everything. And just hearing the theme song, the main theme song at the beginning, that plays at the beginning and towards the end on YouTube, it really brings. I think one person commented, and it was correct in the comment, and said it brings back memories. It brings back memories that makes you go back in time. It makes you want to go back. Financially right now we can't really do that. We can't really go back into Disneyland and see it again unless, of course, you live in the vicinity. Then all you have to do is just walk over there and say, yeah, I'm going to go watch The Wonderful World of Color tonight. That's why we're going tonight, on this weekend. La, 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 la. you know. But still, it's just something I think Disney really needs to expand on and really take advantage of. I mean, they got all this Disney on Ice still, and that's great. That's probably sometimes the closest people are going to get to Disneyland or Disney World, in a sense. But, when you take some things on tour, you need to really consider what is probably the most attractions or things that you could probably find a way to bring to the forefront and really let people enjoy. Really let people get immersed in. And to me, I think the Wonderful World of Color attraction is one of those attractions that I think Disney itself has to really start considering taking on the road in some capacity. Choose some of the areas and regions that have, make it somewhat of a summer attraction if you can, or something. Make it somewhat of a summer attraction. Find areas around with lakes, rivers, oceans, whatever, and try to make something like this happen. Don't just keep it, within the parks, which again, don't get me wrong, is one of the main reasons why you'd want to go to Disneyland. You'd want to go to Disney World. You'd want to see this. That'd be one of the first attractions you want to see. But to me, I think if I'm, the people at Disney, and I know how popular this is, I want to try to share it with everybody. And not just do television or YouTube and all that. But I want to share it anybody around. And to me, I think it would be a great attraction to take on the road in the near future. It really would be. Because, folks, if you have not seen The Wonderful World of Color, and I doubt anybody listening to this has not seen it live like I have, I have just a strong feeling a lot of you have. And even if you've watched it through YouTube, let's say you have YouTube on your HD television, and you've watched a great, spectacular show, and you're like, oh, sorry about that, my hand hit the mic. But you've watched a great, spectacular show. To me, that's a show that you want to see more often. You want to see more of. You want to see more of. You really want to immerse yourself, like I said earlier, immerse yourself into it. And I think, taking it on the road in some way, in some form, would really help. Because think about it this way. You want people, if you're Disney, if you're the Walt Disney Company, you want people to come to Disneyland. You want them to come to Disney World. But you want to give them a reason. But you know that in a sense, some of the attractions that really make you stand out can't really be moved, can't really be taken on the road, with the exception of maybe one or two or three. With the exception of maybe one or two or three. And what I mean by that is, you have these shows that when people go to Disneyland or Disney World is one of the main reasons they want to go. They hear about it, they want to go and see it, and they do. I mean, when me and my sisters and their husbands and their kids and their friends, when we saw The Wonderful World of Color, it was just amazing. I mean, just the way they went from, the beginning and how they transitioned into Little Mermaid, and they went to Pocahontas, Aladdin, some of Fantasia. They went to Lion King. They went to Beauty and the Beast. They did the little montage with that song from Enchanted. They did the montage with that. It's just amazing. And then, like I said, you take out certain footage and you add in new footage. I mean, they even were able to incorporate the Pirates of the Caribbean into that. And then, like I said, you take out some of the footage that you felt could be taken out for the time being, or you add to it, and you take out certain footage, and in its place you add footage from Brave, Frozen, or you just keep the footage that's in there and you just add in new footage. It really makes it a spectacular, a very memorable event, and it's sometimes something that sticks, just sticks out in your mind. It really does. And to go and see this event live, is something that you have to see to believe. It's really that special. If you take anything away from a trip to Disneyland or Disney World, and if there's one thing, even with video footage, that you're going to remember, it's going and standing in the crowd and watching that event. It's that memorable. And like I said, this is something that that Disney needs to consider taking on the road and showing off to other locations. I mean, if you're willing to take not Frozen, but if you're willing to take a show like Disney on Ice and take people that sometimes you need to have at your theme parks, and believe me, these people that they have in these costumes are some of the same people they have at their theme parks. That's no joke. That's no lie. That's a fact. If you're willing to get people to do that, then you need to find a way. Get these people. If you're willing to make this happen, then you need to find a way, in a sense. To make something like The Wonderful World of Color, accessible for people. Really do. And there's so many regions with lakes and oceans and all that. You can make this happen in. You can make it happen in these areas. I mean, if I'm Disney, I could rent off or get some area in New York, around San Fran, Los Angeles, well, of course, Los Angeles too, but you get the idea. Texas. You just find these areas. Heck, even, I'll tell you this honestly, there are areas in Kansas they could use. That's no lie. And in Kansas City, these are areas they could just cordon off, rent up, if you will, so they could do maybe a 2 hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hour show of the Wonderful World of Color. And it doesn't have to be the same Wonderful World of Color that you see at Disneyland or Disney World. It could be similar to it. It can have some of the same footage, but different footage. And basically, you can give it, and it doesn't have to be as spectacular as what you see at Disneyland. It could be on the verge of that. It could be somewhat in that area. But in a sense, you're giving people a taste of what they could get if they decide to go to Disneyland and Disney World someday. Give them a taste of what they can experience live. And like I said, all you would have to do is just cordon off a certain portion of a lake or an ocean or wherever and say, this is just a sample. It's a sample of what you can get if you go to Disneyland or you go to Disney World. That, to me, would be worth doing if I was Disney. It would be worth doing. Now, I know some of you are listening and you're thinking, well, Brian, that sounds good and everything, but it's up to Disney. Yeah, it is. It is up to Disney. And if they don't want to do something like that, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, if you want to keep having people from the Inside the Magic YouTube and podcast channels, and other various people out there, fans, people like myself, posting videos, high definition, standard definition, instantly, instant videos. If you want us to keep doing that, then that's fine. If you feel that's going to give people more of a reason to want to come down and go to Disneyland and go to Disney World, that's fine. To me, I think it would help your cause even more. Really show how much this show can be special, how much this show means to your theme park, to your business, and how much the fans mean to you. Is take a portion of the show in some way, shape, form, or capacity on the road and give the fans a taste of what they can expect. That's what I would do. And you got all these areas, all these regions that have lakes and oceans. You could do it there. And I guarantee you people will enjoy it. They will. They will. Now, like I said, I know some of you are thinking and saying, well, Brian, it's up to them. And true it is. It is up to Disney. If I was Disney, I would do it. But in closing, I will say this. I went on Space Mountain with my niece. I enjoyed it. I went on that water rapid ride with one of my friends. I enjoyed it. I went into Haunted Mansion. I enjoyed it. I went into the Roger Rabbit ride in Toontown. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all these things. Buzz Lightyear's attraction, the Toy Story attraction there, Toy Story Mania. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed everything going there. But the one thing that's always stuck in my memory, it's not just through the video footage or the pictures I've taken. It's just from the fact that it really brings me back to being there. And that's the Wonderful World of Color. So, let me know what you guys think down below. If you guys got any memories. And do you think perhaps trying in some way to take the Wonderful World of Color in some capacity or form on the road and giving people a taste of what it could be a good idea for Disney?